Hello, ushers and communion servers. You are getting a real treat because we're going to be offering both this video walkthrough and this amazing document that will help you come Sunday when we celebrate communion. We do communion three different ways. We do it as people come forward and receive the bread and then dip it into the cup. That is known as intinction. We also have people come forward and receive the bread and then go over and receive the cup from the tray. That's kind of a standard way of communion. And then for 4 months of the year, we serve communion as people are in their seats. And so 3 ways, 12 months a year, 4 months each way. And so we will be serving in this way for January through April. And then we'll be having the people receive the cup from the tray as they come forward through the month of August. So those are slight variations. This is really more so not for the tray version, but this is for the first 8 months of this year, versions A and B. So we want to always have children participate, and so we will do our best to alert Violet over in the boathouse that the sermon is wrapping up or coming to an end. And then the best case scenario for me, I always think, is that I want parents and children to be together in the experience of taking the Lord's Supper. That way, if there are questions, hopefully parents talk a little bit about it before so that they're prepared, and then they do that together. I think the witness or the seeing a parent partake, seeing the seriousness of it, prayerfulness, all of that is a good learning process for children. After the invitation and words of institution, I'm going to invite the ushers and servers to come forward. Now, this is from my vantage point. I suppose I should do it the other way, but from the window side, we want all the ushers there, and then we'll go rover, cup, bread, cup, rover. So we're putting rovers on both sides. And we're doing that because we find that the rovers have often been kind of having a difficult time navigating through crowds and the lines that are there. And so we've decided to have a rover, 2 rovers. The rover will have both the bread and the cup, and they'll be free to serve. So let me keep a list here so we walk it through systematically. As you line up there, you will be receiving the elements first. So we'll start from the window side, move all the way across, serve everyone the bread and the cup. As soon as the ushers receive, you go off. The rover that's there can step aside and wait to go. I wouldn't start serving quite yet until we get everybody in place. 2 rovers, 1 on each side, and then go up. The ushers, 2 ushers will be in the center aisle, covering sections B and C. If we think all the way across from the wall side of the sanctuary or the beach side of the sanctuary, A, B, C, D section is right at the window. The ushers will be there in the center aisle, serving sections B and C. They start with the front row and they'll continue to the back. Release people. Be aware of the side sections. This is the change. Be aware of the side sections because 2 ushers will serve on the outside sections, sections A and D. And they'll be inviting people to go on the outside, down, around, or up, around, and then down the center aisle. So if you're serving on the center aisle, beware that traffic is going to be coming from these sides, and so don't keep releasing the center aisle people or sections B and C so that we can have some sense of all of it ending about the same time. We also don't want to create long lines, and so releasing people out of this section and then the side ones are backed up. So it's a little bit of coordination and seeing what works best. So I would say key elders or key ushers on those center sections paying attention so people flow can be navigated properly. 2 ushers will serve the outside sections, A and D, start with the front row and move to the back. They'll go out, around, and then down the center aisle. The goal is to keep the aisles between A and B and C, and this is actually on the paperwork noted as aisle 1 and aisle 3. The center aisle is aisle 2. So we want to keep aisle 1 and aisle 3 clear. We don't want any cross navigation. We want the rovers to be able to move in those aisles to get to the people they need to get to. Cool? So The rovers, the one rover will be serving the south side, and then when they're completed with the south side, they'll go to the hallway, the kitchen, the nursery. On the window side of the sanctuary, they'll go up, serve the tech booth. That'll save another process that we've got to do, but serve the tech booth and then head to the patio. I would say that both rovers should end up back somewhere around the center aisle and just make sure everything's clear if there are other things we need. I'm going to ask people to clearly indicate their need, to raise their hand, to pay attention to the rovers so that they can be served. It shouldn't be, I hope they see me. They've got to make themselves known, and the same way people coming forward are doing the same. So that's 2 individual rovers. Number 8, happy birthday. Number 8 on this list says the pastor will make clear that anyone who needs or wants to be served without coming forward, raise a hand to get the attention of the rovers. And so we'll trust that the rovers will see that. Number 9, when serving is complete, elements will be returned to the Lord's table and servers dismissed to their seat. So as soon as everybody's in, everybody's been served, we're all good. Get back to your seats. At that point, I will invite the congregation to stand because we go from there to the confession of faith, and it changes each month, but that's as simple as it is. Holy Communion at St. Peter's by the Sea. I think the key is to pay attention to the sacredness of the serving that we do, the presence of the Lord, the worship that we have as people sing. We offer some time for reflection on that. And to not be in a hurry and to see the privilege that it is to serve communion. So that's it. How much time did it take? Oh my gosh, it took 7 minutes. Oh, that's a holy number. See you Sunday.